eyelids have a secret. They protect your eyes without your permission, until that permission is revoked. When the involuntary blink disappears, every single closure must be a conscious command. Every forgotten moment scrapes your cornea raw. You can still see, you can still sleep, but you can never again rely on your body to shield your eyes. 7 days without the corneal reflex. This is Protocol Blink 0. Day 1. The involuntary blink is gone. The reflex that once swept your corneas clean 15 times a minute without thought has vanished. You must now command every closure yourself. At first, it feels absurd, a clumsy, deliberate gesture where silence once lived. You blink, then you wait. The seconds stretch. 30 seconds pass. 40. Your vision blurs as the tear film evaporates. A gritty sensation spreads across your eyes. You blink hard, and the world sharpens. But relief is temporary, and the next blink is already yours to remember. The muscles around your lids ache from constant effort. You try to set a rhythm. Every 5 seconds, blink. But the moment your attention drifts, the rhythm collapses. You forget. Your eyes burn. You blink. By midday, microscopic breaks appear on your corneal surface. Punctate keratitis. You cannot feel them directly, but your eyes now feel permanently irritated, as if fine sand lies trapped beneath the lids. Artificial tears help, but they cannot replace the smooth, even spread of a natural blink. You sit in a lit room, counting the seconds between each closure. The world continues, indifferent. But you know that every moment of vision is now a conscious negotiation with a body that no longer performs its oldest, quietest task. Day 1. The voluntary gaze. The reflex that safeguarded your sight is deleted. From now on, every blink is a choice, and choices can be forgotten. Day 2. The novelty of conscious blinking is gone. In its place is grinding exhaustion. Your tear film is collapsing. A natural blink spreads a perfect 3-layer shield in a fraction of a second. Your voluntary blinks are slow, uneven. The oily outer layer doesn't distribute, so the watery middle evaporates fast. Even when you remember to blink, it isn't enough. Your eyes dry faster than you can re-wet them. Microscopic erosions on your corneas have multiplied. Light scatters across the damaged surface. Halos bloom around every lamp, every screen. The world turns gauzy and unfocused. Squinting only makes it worse. A new torment. A speck of dust drifts into the room. Normally, your eyelid would slam shut before you even saw it. Now the dust lands directly on your dry cornea and sticks. Every particle is a distinct, sharp point. You try to blink it away, but the clumsy voluntary motion only grinds the grit across the sensitive tissue. You must flush the eye with artificial tears. The irritation lingers long after the speck is gone. Reading becomes a battle. Words blur, clear with a deliberate blink, then blur again. Your life is governed by a rhythm you must provide and keep forgetting to provide. You cycle through clarity, burn, blink. Each blink is slower, heavier. Night brings fear. You can close your eyes, but will you close them tightly enough? What if the damaged cornea sticks to the inside of the lid and tears when you open them in the morning? You lie awake, manually holding your eyes shut, afraid to release the one reflex that has become a conscious act. Day 2. The unwilling blink. Your body is not adapting. It is slowly surrendering to the friction. Day 3. Sleep has become a battlefield. You survived the night, but waking exacts a price. As you pry your eyelids apart, the dry cornea, adhered to the inner lid, tears. A sharp, peering pain rips across your eye. Recurrent corneal erosion, a microscopic flap of epithelium peeled away by the simple act of opening your eyes. Your vision blurs instantly, not from dryness, but from a raw, open wound on the surface of your eye. Light becomes agony. Even the dim glow of a phone screen sends a spike of pain deep into your skull. The world shrinks to the darkness behind your lids, and even the thought of facing daylight makes your pulse quicken. Your manual blinks have grown weak. The muscles that close your eyelids, exhausted by 2 days of unrelenting conscious effort, can no longer fully shut them. Even when you command a blink, a sliver of cornea remains exposed. At night, that sliver desiccates, priming the wound for another tear in the morning. The new epithelial cells, fragile and thin, are no match for the adhesive grip of a dry lid. The cycle is now self-feeding: damage, attempted healing, and a forced reopening that rips the fragile new cells away before they can anchor. You are no longer just protecting your eyes. You are actively injuring them with every sunrise. Day 3. The morning tear. The reflex that once healed your eyes while you slept now leaves them wounded at dawn. Day 4. The corneal erosions have become a doorway. Without the antimicrobial proteins of a normal tear film, bacteria find the raw, exposed tissue and begin to multiply. A dense, white infiltrate forms at the edge of your iris, a corneal ulcer. Your eye now hosts a living infection, and the pain shifts from sharp and dry to a deep, throbbing ache that radiates into your jaw and skull. Your vision in the affected eye clouds to a milky haze. The body tries to respond, sending blood vessels to the usually clear cornea, but this only deepens the opacity. Light is no longer just painful. It is a trigger for violent, uncontrollable spasms of the eyelid, a desperate reflex you can no longer perform. The eye that once was your window is now a vulnerable, infected wound, and the darkness you once feared is becoming a permanent condition. Day 4. The infective niche. The blink was the gatekeeper. Without it, the gate is wide open, and the outside world is rushing in. Day 5. The infection has deepened. The white infiltrate on your cornea is no longer just a surface colony. It has burrowed into the stroma, the thick middle layer of the eye. Bacterial enzymes and your own immune cells now dissolve the collagen that gives the cornea its strength. The tissue softens, thins, and begins to bulge under the pressure from within. This is corneal melting, and it can lead to perforation within hours. A sterile, pale fluid settles in the bottom of your anterior chamber, a hypopion made of dead white cells. Your vision is reduced to vague shapes and diffuse light. The pain is constant and deep, as if something is slowly drilling through your eye. You are no longer protecting your sight. You are simply waiting to see if the globe will hold or rupture. The reflex that once kept your eyes safe is now the reason they may be lost forever. Day 5. The corneal melt. The body's last defense is destroying the very thing it was meant to protect. Day 6. The stromal melt reaches its endpoint. The cornea, thinned to a fragile membrane, can no longer withstand the pressure within. It perforates. Aqueous fluid rushes out, and the iris, carried by the sudden current, plugs the wound. Your eye deflates slightly. The pain, for a brief moment, subsides, a cruel, deceptive relief. But the barrier is breached. Bacteria flood the interior of the globe. Endophthalmitis ignites, a fulminant infection consuming the entire eye. Your vision on that side is now only a memory of light. The other eye, exhausted and dry, begins to show the first white infiltrates of the same cascade. You are no longer fighting to save your sight. You are fighting to save the second eye before the same sequence repeats. Day 6. The perforation point. The wall has broken. The inside is now outside, and the infection answers to no one. Day 7. The infection in the second eye has been halted, but the cornea is now permanently scarred, a thick white film across your vision. The first eye is lost, a shrunken, lightless remnant of the window it once was. You are half blind, and the remaining eye sees only blurred shapes and muted light through a haze that will never lift. Every few seconds, you must force your lids together. The movement is no longer a blink. It is a deliberate, mechanical wipe of a damaged lens. Opening your eyes each morning brings a familiar sting, a tiny tear of adhesion breaking anew. You will live this way for the rest of your life, chained to a task your body once performed silently, a guardian of the last scraps of your sight. Day 7. Blink 0. The reflex is gone. The scars are forever. The simple act of closing your eyes is now all that keeps the darkness from becoming absolute.